Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Trail Expedition, where we talk Jeeps and go on epic adventures. In this video, I want to talk about the 2022 Jeep Gladiator and the top 5 options that you should upgrade from the factory when you buy your Jeep. So starting at number 5 is the auxiliary switch group, which is a set of 4 switches on your dash. Basically, when you get it from the factory, they go to nothing. And they are programmable, so you can hook them to auxiliary lights, you can hook that to an air compressor, whatever you can think of. You basically have 4 switches that are just already installed from the factory, and you can hook different things to them. This product put in aftermarket, I heard, is a pain in the ass to do. Sorry, pain in the butt to do. And at only $345, go ahead and do it. It's the same thing as like having an S-Pod in your Jeep, but it's just already wired from the factory. At number 4, definitely the cold weather group. So we live in Michigan, West Michigan. We get a lot of snow. Actually, this year we really haven't got any snow, but it's cold. It's always cold in the wintertime. The cold weather group gives you heated seats and the heated steering wheel. What's great about this is if the temperature is below a certain degree when you go out to start your vehicle, the heated seats and the heated steering wheel just automatically turn on. You don't have to hit anything, it just does it for you. Coming from a 2015 Jeep Wrangler that didn't have that stuff, I'm just super impressed with it, and I'm glad I went with that option. For $995, it's well worth the investment. So at number 3, I put the LED lighting group. I put this on there just because, one, the stock headlights for Jeep Wranglers, Jeep Gladiators, not that great. Candles in the wind, essentially. My 2015 Jeep Wrangler, the stock headlights are horrible, and I didn't want to get in the same situation with the 2022 Gladiator. So I did opt for the LEDs. One thing I did not know about the LEDs, which I think is super awesome, is when you turn your brights on, they're automatic bright lights. So what that means is if you have your brights on and there's oncoming traffic, your brights dim down to just your normal lights, and then when you have open field or when the oncoming traffic goes by you, your bright lights turn back on. So they're just automatic. So you don't have to constantly be blinding people with turning your brights on and off. The LED group is a little pricey. It comes in at $1,465. To me, well worth it, just because if you go aftermarket LEDs, it's going to cost you just as much. So just get it done from the factory. So before I move on to number 2, I did want to throw an honorable mention in, and that's the Gorilla Glass. I think it came out in 2021. I think that was an option for the Gorilla Glass. Everyone knows that the Jeep Gladiator and Wrangler windshields, they're pretty much upright. They're prone to rock chips. You get behind a semi-truck that's kicking up stones, you're going to get a chipped windshield. So the Gorilla Glass is just basically reinforced windshield, and it's cheap too. It's $195. It's peace of mind. Just go ahead and do that. So at number 2, I'm going to put adaptive cruise control. This is something I've never had in a vehicle before, and I am super happy that I put that option in this vehicle. So if you're not familiar with adaptive cruise control, essentially what it is it's like cruise control, but it adjusts to the flow of traffic. So if you set your cruise to 75 miles an hour and you get behind a vehicle that's doing 70, your vehicle will just automatically slow down to match the pace of the vehicle ahead of you. And then if you get in the passing lane and you pass that vehicle, you shoot back up to 75 miles an hour and then you pass the vehicle. And like I said, it's very intuitive. Have actually come to almost a complete stop behind a vehicle using the adaptive cruise control. It's a little odd at first when you use adaptive cruise control because your instinct is to obviously brake, but the vehicle does all the braking and all the accelerating for you. This has been awesome on longer trips. Right now I'm driving 140 miles round trip to work and back, so it's about an hour and 10 minutes each way. And honestly, with adaptive cruise control, it's awesome. I just set it to 75 and I just go. It's great. So the number 1 option I would highly recommend you do on your 2022 Jeep Gladiator, make it a diesel. The 3.6 engine, it's a good engine. It's what's in my 2015 JK. It's been reliable for me. it just doesn't have the torque. Essentially, it's a high revving engine. You got to get really high up into the RPM range to get the power out of it. The EcoDiesel, it's better on fuel. You're going to get a lot more range out of it. And it just, I like the sound of the diesel. And it's just that diesel clatter that you get with it. I just think it sounds amazing. And then every once in a while you can hear that turbo boost as well. It's a $4,000 option. It's not cheap. Eventually you'll make that money back just on your gas mileage savings. However, it's going to take you a long time. But to me, the diesel is definitely the way to go. So at the end of the day, these options aren't for everybody. If you combine them all up, it's just under $8,000. It's like $7,800. It's not cheap. Obviously, these Gladiators are not cheap. I would highly recommend getting the Rubicon model as well, just because you get the locking differentials, the sway bar disconnects, you get all the fun stuff with it. But you know, it comes at a cost. I love my new Jeep Gladiator. You know, as a daily commuter back and forth to work, it's been great. Have not had a chance to get it off road yet, but I'm sure it's just going to be just as amazing as my Wrangler. Well, maybe not, just because it's got the longer wheelbase, but you know, it's still going to be very capable. So what did I end up paying for my Jeep Wrangler? Well, I have the sticker price here. The base price on it, probably can't see it that far away, $47,260 base. Now, I did not put every option on this Jeep that I could have. There's a couple things that I left off. For example, I didn't do leather seats, don't need leather. I didn't do the spray and bed liner. That's something I could do later. Basically, the things that I put on this Jeep are things that, you know, would have been a huge pain in the butt to do aftermarket. The grand total of my 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon EcoDiesel comes to $64,130. So that's the MSRP on it, $64,130. I personally did not pay that much. I feel like I got a pretty good deal on it. I went to the dealership over in Grand Haven, preferred Jeep in Grand Haven, Michigan. Worked with them. They gave me several $1,000s off the build. So I came in just over $60,000. But, you know, I don't want to call it an investment just because obviously no vehicle is going to hold its value. However, the used car market right now is just crazy. I see people selling these Jeep Gladiators for over MSRP with 10, 20,000 miles on them. That's not going to be me. I'm going to keep this Jeep for years. I love the Jeep Gladiator platform. I plan on having this truck for a very long time. If you found this video informative and helpful in choosing which model or Jeep or options that you want to go with in your new build, please hit that subscribe button. I'm going to do more Jeep Gladiator content as time goes on. And obviously we're still going to be covering content of my 2015 Jeep Wrangler JKU build that's currently being done right now. I have it over at Neely's Auto over in Marne. Those guys are awesome. They're doing an amazing job with it. And I should have it back sometime this week or next, hopefully. And then we'll do a walk-around video of that as well. All right, that's all I got for you. Please consider subscribing. Really helps the channel out. Peace.